Hey everybody, welcome back to Jay and Nicole's Learning Lab podcast. Today we're gonna be on the tech side today. Nicole had an emergency. Her computer is now an oven, and she shocked me when we were talking about which laptop she was going to go replace it with, and she actually said, I might even just go get a Mac, which shocked me because I have been pushing her to get a Mac for a while. And I was shocked.
Well, people don't know about me is that I'm like a major anti-Apple person.
Right. But, even though she does, because I'll be honest, I don't really like the company itself either. But what she did recognize was that, or acknowledge, not recognize, acknowledge is that the MacBooks last forever. I know a lot of teachers that are using 10-year-old MacBooks, 10 years old. Nicole?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to start with is what tipped me in that direction. Because I'm not going to lie, people who know me, like all of my friends are just like laughing their asses off, pardon me, but they are just completely just losing their stuff laughing at me.
As they message you on iMessage.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I am super anti-Apple, like massively. I don't like the devices. I just don't like them. I just think they're very complicated unreasonably, and you have to pay for everything. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. So the fact that I even like contemplated it just kind of like blew a lot of minds, and of course it left me quite the fodder for the friends I have. But let's start with the fact that it wasn't just my computer. We started the day 2 minutes before an assessment demo lesson where my main teaching monitor, because I do a 2-screen system, the laptop is actually the secondary screen, died 2 minutes beforehand. So I'm quickly unplugging it to get everything back into a PC to try and figure it all out from one screen. To go 2 classes and have the computer die. And I'm like, now I have a 27-inch monitor. So it was quite the occasion. So I had to cancel all my afternoon classes and I just ran to the mall. Because there was no fixing it. It's gone. It's been going for a while. What tipped me were a couple factors. So what I had, where is it? It's right here, actually. It's not on fire anymore, so I can pick it up. Haha. Check out the brand name if you can see that. So
which is actually, to be fair, Lenovo is a very
really good brand.
It's a very
That's why I bought it. I bought a very expensive Lenovo almost 3 years ago. It's about 2 years and about 7 months, 8 months, because I bought the extended warranty and I'm still under my 3-year warranty. So I paid for a gaming laptop specifically with a cooling system built in because at the time I was doing heavy videos, right? And it was pretty good. I even upgraded the RAM to 32. So I put 2 16 sticks in. And I paid, I'll tell you how much I paid. I paid 62,000 pesos.
Which is, back then, that was almost $1,500.
Yeah. I paid a lot. And I did it because I wanted a very good high-end. It had a bigger screen, one of the biggest I can get in the Philippines, actually. And, this should have easily lasted me 5 years. Easily 5 years. And I was like, okay, right, we're going to do that. I really invested into a really good laptop, good brand. And it just, like, the battery went, the software was going. You've been helping me. I've just had all kinds of crazy things go wrong with it all at once. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, okay, I'll just live through till January, and it just died. It totally died. And I was
What did you watch the battery go from like 100% to 30% in a matter of minutes?
Yeah, I think it was like a 15-minute span. I mean, when the battery went, it wasn't just like a gradual battery. It was just like one day the battery decided, screw you, we're going to die. And then the fun fact about that laptop, See, usually when a battery is bad, you just have it plugged in.
You can still run
right?
it, yeah.
And you can still run it. No. No.
And that
It
cooling
went to
system,
0 and turned off.
right?
It was gone. There was no turning it on at all.
But why not just do a simple battery replacement?
Oh, you want me to talk about that? Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, under warranty, right? So I went through the warranty app in the PC. I was eventually able to get it to come back on. It did charge eventually again, and I was able to get it back on. And I got a hold of Lenovo and did a service request. Of course, the battery's out of warranty. Obviously, I knew that. So I went to get a battery. Now, nobody has it here. I did it through Lenovo, and they sent me back a email. Was it 12,000? Right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 12,000 pesos. Now,
It's
okay,
over
5,000 on
$200.
average is around $100.
Right.
So we're talking like $250 for a battery. And I was like, no, no. And it's really hard to find the battery actually online. And there was a couple places that I found them, but it's probably a used battery. It's just not, so it's really difficult to find. Actually, I might ask my brother to look for one while he's in the US right now. So yeah, that was threw out the window. So I was like, okay, but the battery started working again all of a sudden. Remember, the battery just started working great. It was like, hey, cool. Just randomly just was charged. I couldn't unplug it. If I unplugged it, it just, but it stayed charged before it wasn't. And then the software started going, and some hardware started going, and ports stopped working. It was just all kinds of craziness. It was getting it was overheating like crazy. It was really bad. So I got very angry, and I just realized my next computer needs to last more than 5 years. I spent too much on this one, so I needed to combine the price of the next one with the leftover time I should have had with that one to recuperate what I spent on this one. That was really what was going through my head. Macs are known for lasting forever.
Yeah, like I said, I know several teachers using not just MacBooks, but like Apple desktops. They're over 10 years old and they're still teaching with them. Yeah. Oh God, just my son's iPad, I think it's 8 years old right now.
I just don't like the software, but yeah, see, I should mention that I did go to school for computer science. So originally, I didn't finish it. I did something else. I switched, but I did. That's part of the reason why I don't like it. And I actually did Linux. So, but okay, all right. Another tipping point is for the first time recently, I guess, and within the last few years, for the first time, Apple Macs are cheaper than a PC. It used to be Macs were outrageously priced and the PC was always cheaper, right? Now it's kind of reversed, where it's like I have to pay to get the same quality of what I'm sitting on right here. I would be paying 55 and above. So I'd be back at 60,000.
And to be straight, Nicole bought a base model laptop.
I did.
Didn't pay extra for anything, but that base model laptop is 100% fine for 95% of the people out there. If you need more than that, you'll know. If you're like if you're a heavy duty YouTube creator, and I'm not talking about like making a few little teaching videos or a small little podcast like we make, but I'm talking like these heavy duty creators.
Oh, they need an entire system, and they know that. And I'm no longer doing the heavy video editing and all that stuff like I was used to. So this would totally.
You can do it on this though. People edit 4K videos on these. By the way,
now, so I ended up getting an M2.
Yeah.
Mac 2, yes, M2.
M2.
Yeah, and so I've been testing it out over the last couple of days. I've had it since Saturday, right? Today's
Mhm.
Monday. So I've had it about 2.5 days, 2 days. So I've been testing it out. The things that I have noticed immediately right out of the box. Okay, first of all, I am not using my external camera, and this thing is better than this. And this is podcast, YouTuber, like
Right.
gold standard. And that is better than this. And
The
this is
webcam's
good.
very good. And,
This is good webcam.
you know, and I'm not even using my microphone anymore. I'm just using the laptop mic.
I purposely left this in for a reason. I'm going to go to the mic on this. I did that for a reason. So let me, actually, I'll just turn it off. Maybe. Or not. It's not even, is it off? It's not powering off. How funny is that? Let me go up here and see if it's going to.
You can just switch it in Zoom. You can just switch it in Zoom.
I'm just going to turn it off right now. It says disconnected.
Boy, that sounds so much better than those headphones.
Yeah, see? And okay, so let me turn this off. So another thing that I noticed was the microphone is great.
Yeah.
Right? The speakers are amazing. I can actually hear now. I'm actually partially deaf in one ear because I have Meniere's disease.
What?
Part of the reason why I wear
What did you say? What did
I
you
said
say?
I'm partially deaf in this ear.
What?
Stop it. So it's why I wear like these really high, but I can hear these, which is amazing. I can't hear off of my other one. I'm like, that doesn't do the feedback like my PC would if I had the mic, if I had the speakers on. The screen is so clear. This is better than the tablet.
Yeah. Yeah, the screens are really good.
So these are it connects better to Wi-Fi. So my Wi-Fi signal is actually better and stronger. I can have the same amount of tabs open on this with less memory that I had on my PC, and my PC out.
Now, one thing to note, they're very different systems, Mac OS and Windows. And let's say you have an older Mac or you're going to buy one secondhand, I wouldn't shy away from like an M1 MacBook Air. Those only come with 8 gig of RAM. But I'm going to be honest with you, I taught off one of those for 4 months and I never had a problem. I edited videos on it. I had no problems. So what they kind of what they say is 8 gig on a MacBook is about the same as 16 on a Windows machine as far as memory goes. I don't know if the math is correct, but the idea is correct.
All I know is I have actually today, I had significantly more open than I did on my PC, and I was still running.
Right.
So so all of these things were good, right? Now,
what sucked?
The suck. All right. So the suck is you can't use your PC software on a Mac. So if you have a lot of PC software, you're kind of screwed. But I did put an emulator on there, virtual.
Well, and also most of the common software is available for both.
Yes, but that's where the suck continued.
Right.
So I ended up putting in a virtual Microsoft
VMware.
Yeah, VMware on my on this laptop, which it handled it. Just so that it's more like a stopgap because some of my applications are harder to find in a Mac or in a version of Mac that is compatible with what I have now. So some of them are older Mac software that won't.
So what she's talking about here is she installed VMware Fusion and has a Windows machine. She has a virtual Windows machine running inside her Mac. If anybody needs help with that, let me know or let Nicole know.
Yeah, actually, I'll be more than happy to tag the YouTube video I used. It literally walked me through step by step, super easy.
Right.
I mean, like, you and I have some tech background, but even without tech background, you could literally pause it and just follow it along for the most
Oh
part.
yeah. I think anybody could get VMware Fusion running.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. It's more of a stopgap while I'm learning the system, right? While I'm acquiring. So the part that sucked is Mac is a lot more concerned with security, I think, to the point of overboard. So, like you have to put in your fingerprint all the time. You got to type in the code for every freaking thing. Like when you load software, it's not quite as intuitive. Mostly because I grew up in a PC world, but it's not quite as intuitive. The interface for like the folder system is not as
It's different.
yeah, it's different. I'm just used to seeing like the folders, and the organization just seems very unorganized to me.
Well, remember, Mac is Linux based.
Yeah.
So it uses their folder system.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've used it, like I don't know, like 25 years. So, it's not something I'm used to. I wish it had a little bit more, I want to say GUI interface when it comes to like the folder system where it can be a little more visually easier to understand.
Yeah.
But it's just different. But when I load software, it requires a lot more things. Whereas in Windows, it has the installer and you just agree, and it installs.
Right.
Whereas here you have to like install it and then you have to go into the systems and give it specific permissions and move it in.
That's
run.
for like apps that screen share, Zoom, VOOV, Class In, anything like that. You have to go in and do that. That's right.
It made me override for my teaching tools.
Right.
Like I loaded like National Geographic and Discovery and things like that.
Because they were older. Oh gosh, those versions are so old though. Man.
I know, but like on a PC though, you just install it and go.
I think that's because they're Flash based. And Flash was around forever. The internet started on Flash, and it was such a huge security problem, not just on Mac, but on Windows too. They got rid it's not used anymore though.
So what I've learned is that now I did run from three different companies. I had students actually in the last 2 days. And so I have those iTools from three different companies. So National Geographic, Cambridge, and I can't remember the other one. They're all, a couple of them are a little more heavy when it comes to the data than the others. Now I found that the National Geographics ran pretty good. The others on this device lagged a lot. And I think it's two things. One, it's an older software.
Right.
Number two, this is not as high powered as some of the others. And it had a lot of video and audio and stuff, but I could run it on my PC with no problem. I think it had more to do with them being older and the Mac didn't like it very much when I installed it.
Right.
So there's those things. What was the other one? Oh, little things that drove me absolutely batty. I swear Mac did it on purpose just to be different. For example, you close on the left instead of on the right.
Yeah, the close button is on the left corner, top left corner, as opposed to the top right corner.
You do, how many years and you're like, how do I close it? How do I close it? Like it was, and then it goes here, and then, Mac occupies a lot of screen real estate for me. They have the bar on the bottom and the bar on the top. I feel like it should just be one or the other.
Right.
Not both. So it drives me a little nuts that I can't pull all the way to the top. And the bar on the bottom, I feel that a PC is more intuitively organized. This one is not. There is just a lot of crap open on the bottom. and
But
you
you
have to.
can, you've got to clean that up yourself.
Yeah, I've got to clean it up, but it's still a lot of crap. It's not like condensed into a tile. Even on the iOS on the Android phones, it's this like the same concept where you can create like a folder, you know. So it takes a lot more to get it how you want it, is what I'm saying. So the learning curve is massive. I would not suggest going from a PC to a Mac and not having a couple days to play. Let's put it this way. I don't cancel classes. You know that. I don't cancel.
Right.
I taught the day that I had my problem. I told my students, and most of them were kind and canceled. I taught 1 or 2 classes that night, which was a complete, I gave them the lesson back. It was just not even. The next morning, I realized I needed.
The next morning, I'm like, I
The
get
next morning,
messages from
Lord
Nicole.
have
I
mercy.
can't get into it locked me out. And I'm like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, man. and then I got my son running up to, hey, I need to do this to my computer. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going back to bed, you guys.
Well, okay, so that was the thing. That was one of the other things with like the Mac, right? I'm used to having like I have my passwords that I use. Then it told me, well, you already used this password for like your ID account, so you can't use it for this. And then it was the what I chose was too close to that one. So I'm just like, right? Like it's the password I want. Kiss my butt, you know?
Right.
So, and then it made it worse when I was signing in, where I created the hint. I remember putting in the hint, and it didn't give me the hint. You jogged my memory by asking, is that your Apple ID or your passcode for your Mac? And I went, oh,
If anybody
yeah.
knows South Park, she went, oh, rainbows. Only a South Park fan would know that, would understand that.
I did though. I was like, oh, go back to bed, Jay. I feel bad now.
I mean, I was like looking at my phone with one eye, and I'm like, ah, I don't know.
Really? So I don't know. What was the other thing? So the learning curve is massive. I actually canceled my first 2 morning classes, just because I was not ready. I didn't have the things I needed installed. I was very heavy on those teaching tools, so I had to actually look if I still even had the PDFs to teach from. So some of them I had them, some of them I had to actually load the software. So I had to source the Mac version, and then I had the fun episode of trying to load it because it doesn't load like a PC. Um,
It's
it
actually
was
easier. You just drag it.
no,
That's
because
it.
like I said, it wouldn't load, so I had to go in and do extra
Oh,
things.
that's right. You had the pseudo app.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was just a lot more complicated. And then I actually ended up realizing I had to add the Fusion virtual windows.
Right.
So that took up time as well because there was a couple apps that I couldn't
Oh,
find.
and there is a software that will allow you to run Windows software on your Mac that's not a virtual machine. It's called Crossover. I use it for some other software that is only a Windows software, and it worked fine for me. But I told Nicole, I said, I don't know if it'll run these tools, and it
It
didn't.
didn't.
It
No.
didn't.
And
But
that's why I had to do the Fusion, but I still have the crossover because I can use it for something else.
right, you need to
So
run some poker simulation software.
right.
It works for that. I'll just tell you.
Well, and then, sourcing, it's easier to source PC software than it is some of the Mac stuff. So sometimes, or it's more expensive. So that was an issue as well. So, oh, that was the other thing. Now, thank God, I have, I had recently just purchased a couple hubs,
Mhm.
and my old PC only had the one C port, and it was for in the back, right? It was all USB, and I was actually really upset because I had ordered the USB ones and I got the C hubs. and
Right,
PC
I
have
remember
a
that.
lot more hubs.
USB-A, yeah.
Yeah. And so the Mac only comes with the 2 C ports.
Right.
And if I didn't
Is
have the hubs for those, that would have sucked.
so is it a limiter using with only 2 USB-C ports
To be
for you?
honest, I wish there was one more on the other side, just one on the
Yeah,
other side.
you need the Mac. If you need 3, you have to get the MacBook Pro, which
Oh, is that what it is?
multiplies the price. And the
Yeah,
MacBook
right.
Pro uses the exact same chip. Identical. You get an HDMI port and another USB-C port, and it has fans. So
Now, see,
the
I
MacBook Air doesn't have fans. It's a fanless system.
well, I need to be clear though. When I say that there's only 2 C ports, there's only 2 C ports. There's like
Right.
a charger and 2 Cs. There's no HDMI
Right.
cable or anything like that, right?
Right.
So if I didn't already have, it's over here. I can't show it. I actually, you and I have the same hub. So I have an
Yeah.
M.2 hub for an external drive, and it has an HDMI and it has an Ethernet. There's no Ethernet port on the
Right.
Air.
No,
No
right. Your
Ethernet.
Wi-Fi only. Yeah.
2 C ports. Yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
got. So like this one has an Ethernet, which is what I'm running right now because my Wi-Fi is a little iffy right at the moment. It has a couple hubs, it has a C port, it has the Ethernet and the HDMI. So I can run a second monitor still. So I don't really need 2 more than 2. What I'm saying is that I wish it wasn't all on one side of the Mac.
Right. Right.
I wish it was 1 C and 1 C.
And so on mine, I have an external monitor plugged in. My external monitor uses HDMI or DisplayPort, but I have an HDMI to USB-C cable, and I just plug right into the laptop with my second monitor. And then the other USB-C port just has my piece of crap hub that I hate.
So yeah. Oh, and then so like utility wise, I realized that I need a new keyboard.
Oh, why do you need a keyboard? I love this.
Because when you're using things like, I don't know, like Notion, and you try to use the keys that you would on a window, and it doesn't have the command key, you delete crap. And
Right.
right, like I was deleting files. I'm like, thank God it does like a history restore because
Right.
I was deleting and moving stuff, going, what is going on? And not realizing it took me the longest time to figure out that this was a Windows keyboard.
Right.
So it
The
had
Mac
a
keyboard's
Windows
different.
key. Yeah. So
A little bit. It's not like they moved the letter A and P, but it's all your functionality keys like
yeah, the function keys. But
yeah.
what I realized it once I realized it, it made it easier. So I use hotkeys for like duplicate, cut, paste,
Mhm.
copy, right? Usually it's I believe it's like Windows C, Windows. I'm used to just using my fingers.
Command
Um,
C, Command B. Yeah.
yeah, there it is. Yeah. I'm used to just doing that. I don't think about it. I just, it's memory. And then when I realized that it was literally the same letters, I just had to hit the command button instead.
Right.
It
Right.
was once I realized that, like it didn't sync at first because I was too stressed. Once I realized that, then I was like, oh, okay, that's easy to switch over. I'm just doing it that way. The screen snip though, I did change because you can set your
We
own pattern.
well we put a third
Yeah,
party
you did a third
screenshot
party.
tool on because the Mac screenshot sucks compared to Windows snipping tool. It
Yeah.
sucks. And then we put some custom keys in there for that.
But what I did is I used the finger pattern, whatever the keys were for the same finger pattern is what I put into it. So I didn't have to relearn a finger pattern,
Right.
which actually made it make sense because it's option S, which is option snip, right?
Right.
So so I use the same finger pattern. So that actually was very helpful. Ooh, I really like their keyboard and their trackpad.
Yeah, it rocks.
Very buttery.
Yes.
I don't even know how else to say that.
Right. The trackpad.
Butter.
I can go without a mouse. I can go without a mouse.
I did have to go in the settings and add the tap because I kept doing it in the store.
Right.
It's automatic tap.
Oh, and we had to fix the scrolling because it scrolls the opposite of Windows. That one, yeah.
I do like the fingerprint thing in the corner. I just wish Mac would use that more than the
see, I use it for everything.
I'm gonna have to
Except
figure out why
when
it
you-
activates for all the damn passwords.
Yeah, I use it for everything. Rarely do I have to type a password in. Rarely.
So yeah. Oh yeah, we had an issue with the market at first, but I think that had to do with I've never ever because anti-Apple, I have never even had an account with Apple before. So I think that took a while to trickle through.
Oh, the App Store. Yeah, it took a while for everything to replicate and things to just start magically working. Right. Yeah, it took a little while.
So verdict. I hope this has been helpful, by the way. So I have been beyond stressed out for the last 2 days. Like I have gone over the top, not helping that my network connection with my really sucky internet company right now has not been that great. So it's compounded, plus the monitor going out. So I've had other externals. If you are switching from a PC to a Mac, you're going to be pissed. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna want to throw it out. It's gonna really annoy you. It's gonna be a lot of
There's a
learning.
learning curve. Yeah, there's a learning.
It's a learning curve. There's no doubt about it. Once I calmed down a little bit and I just realized that
Chilled out.
yeah, chilled out, right? I do have to go back to some older ways of teaching with all the I don't mind using PDFs. I use them a lot for a lot of things. So I just got really heavy on using the tools. So I just have to go back to that. Once you figure it out, the benefits of some of the features will outweigh the PC.
Tell me about the battery life.
That's where I was going now.
Okay.
So the camera, number one, so I don't have to have an external unless I want. Like I can have a second camera if I wanted though to do. Oh, you can log into 2 things on a Mac and the camera will work on both.
Right. Your camera will work on both of them.
That's
right.
cool. I'm tempted to log in on something else just to show it. But anyway, yeah, so the camera, phenomenal. The mic, the speakers, the screen is just I keep wanting to touch it like a touch screen, seriously.
Right.
It's amazing. The trackpad, I love the fingerprint thing. I actually do really like that feature, by the way. That's sweet. PC needs to get on board with that. The keyboard is really great. I don't mind the 2 C ports. I think that's nice. I don't have so many wires everywhere. I just put it all in a hub. I actually kind of do like that better because ports go out from all the weight of the corns, spaghetti noodles. The battery. Oh my God. That right there would get you to buy the whole shebang. My PC would last me maybe an hour. When I first got it, max like hour 25. Hour. Like it never went past an hour and a half. Never. Yeah, they lied their butts off to me in the store, by the way. So this thing, I have not had this plugged in for the last 2 hours and I'm not even at 50%.
Yeah. And so what I've seen in teaching from the battery.
63%.
What's that?
I'm at 63% and
Yeah.
I've been for like over 2 hours.
I lose about 12 to 15% an hour, maybe a little more for some things. It depends on what I'm teaching from. Am I using Zoom? Am I doing a lot of screen sharing? That's going to use more battery, but I would say on average 12 to 15% for a 1 hour class. If you're not teaching and you're just using it as a laptop, you can go all day.
All day.
All day. all day.
I did notice when I use the teaching tools, it does suck the battery fast.
Yeah, it will.
But you get see now Jay told me to put it into low battery
Low power
consumption.
mode. Yeah.
It bumped me back up when I was using the tools. It bumped me back up like I was it lasted longer. There was a significant
Yeah.
noticeable difference of the battery life. And I didn't notice the screen too much difference. It is a little bit darker to save the battery, but not anything where I can't see. Not like a PC when it saves battery, you're like, what? I can't.
Yeah, it's like who can
Ridiculous,
use this, right?
right? But the battery, holy smokes, that is impressive. And we live in the land of blackouts.
And Apple will claim an 18-hour battery on it. Yeah, it probably did that, but they turned off Wi-Fi. There was no internet. They turned off Bluetooth, and they ran it on low power mode. They dimmed the screen probably to 30%, and they looped a video for 18 hours.
Pretty
So
much, right?
that's all they did. But I would say for me, just using it as not teaching from, 12 hours is what I would get. 12 hours. And
If
you
I
can
was
you can charge it with a power bank.
Oh, yeah, see, that was the other thing. So my PC, it can be charged from a power bank. It has a C port. It does accept power bank charging. But what most people don't realize is that a PC, you have to have a 65-watt or higher
Mhm.
output power bank.
Yeah.
The Mac will use the power bank you use for your freaking phone, 20 watts, and charge.
Right. I yeah, I know.
I was so mad about that because I was like, woohoo, I got this. Now I can use this, by the way. Now I'm happy I have this.
Right.
That's why I bought the big bad boy,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, you go all day on that. Oh, you go probably 2 days. Probably
Yeah.
2 days. That's
So, yeah. So, battery life. Oh, and the price, right? Price was a huge thing.
so yeah. So here, because I have the same, actually, Nicole copied me and got the same color. We both have the black.
Okay, it was that or the gold, and that wasn't happening.
I know, I'm just kidding. But so here in the Philippines, this kind of stuff is more expensive than it is in the States. So
Yeah.
here we pay about $800 for it. In the States, you can easily get this for $700. And I dare you to find a PC that matches it, performance wise, whatever thing you want to compare it against. You will not beat it for $700 in the States. You will not beat it. There's no way.
Well, with having the external, because we do cheat a little bit with the external drive, right? So the M.2.
Oh yeah.
So I cheat a little bit that way because I put all of my heavy things there, and so I can just pull it without having to come off the internet, right? So I have my main cloud storage, but this saves me time.
Right.
So, and I move all my recorded videos and stuff there until I need to get rid of them. So we do cheat a little bit that way, so I can get away with a little bit less. But so when it comes to camera, screen, trackpad, battery life, price, it's the Mac.
Yeah.
And because of the price and the lifetime and the battery, I'm just saying, the PCs right now are way more
Yeah.
with less.
I, you know, I about a year and a half ago, I bought a laptop. What's that?
And it's like a feather.
Right.
The first thing I said was, it's like, whoo, it was light.
Yeah, I think it's under 3 pounds.
It's so light.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's a beast.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I just don't think you can beat it on the price. Now this is the M2 we're talking about. The newest version is the M4 MacBook Air. You're gonna So Mac never makes a big jump in, so they do there's an M2, an M3, and an M1, M2, M3, M4. The M1 came out in 2020. This is about, because it has double the RAM, the performance is quite a bit higher than the M1, probably 20%. But after that, generation to generation, there's only about a 10% improvement in performance. And that means if you open something and it takes 5 seconds on the M4, that means it'll take 6 seconds on the M2. You're never going to notice the difference. You're never going to notice.
I'll admit, the screen is quite a bit smaller. I had a 15, this is a 13, right? So it's a noticeable difference. It's like marginally bigger than my tablet. I have a Samsung FE, right? So I thought that would be a problem because the 15 was, I have a 27-inch monitor, right?
Mhm.
I thought that would be a problem. Turns out, because of the clarity of the screen itself, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. And I know you were griping about the disorganized windows, but I think that Stage Manager that I showed you, I think that will resolve that issue for you.
It will, because when I saw it, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a place to cluster.
Right.
That'll do
And
it.
yeah, you can play around. I'm not going to go through it with you here, but you can play around with it, and you can have it where, like, you have Chrome and WhatsApp on one of the things. So if you click on it, it'll open both of them. You can do that.
So my verdict is, if you're a new teacher and you haven't bought one yet, start with the Mac. If you're a long-time PC user, do it on a vacation that you have time to play with it for a few days.
Yeah.
Don't just go out and buy it and expect to go and teach. It's not going to happen. I don't cancel classes. I don't cancel classes. And
Right.
I had to cancel a whole day's worth of classes between the 2 days because the learning curve was that much for me. And just figuring out how to get my materials and how to teach, because I was using programs. It made a huge difference. Now, if you're using PDFs and and like PowerPoints and things like that, and like web-based, yeah, you could probably go in and teach the same day. No worries. My issue was how I was teaching.
Right.
Because I had specialized in something different. I had offered a different set of experiences for my students, which I have to change now. So yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the connectivity is a little bit better. It connects better to even the Ethernet through the hub. The Wi-Fi connects better. I like my PC, don't get me wrong. I do believe the world is built off of that. I think that Mac is missing the mark by trying intentionally to be too different on purpose instead of competitive and different. I think if Mac were to match some of the features that PC has, which would be very easy, so that it was an easy crossover for people, but also offer all the extra stuff that they offer, I think they would beat out a PC in no time. They would take over the market.
Yeah.
I think they made it a point to be so exclusive. That is why they haven't taken over the market.
The other thing, we didn't really talk about this, but there are some benefits if you have an iPad and a Mac. Nicole doesn't have an iPad. I didn't either until a few weeks ago. I finally replaced my Samsung tablet, but there are some benefits, like I can just slide the mouse over to the iPad. It's called Sidecar. And I can start using my mouse and the keyboard from my laptop without doing anything. And it'll work on the laptop. I have taught a whole day on the iPad because I spilled water all over my laptop and I had to let it dry out. And you can also make an iPad a second display as well.
That's why I had the Samsung. That's
Right.
why I bought the FE, because I was using it as a second display on my PC because it has a screen share app built in that goes with the Samsung. The operating systems where I could just slide it across. Now, if I want to use this as a second screen, Apple makes me pay for an app. There is no free app. The app that has to be paid. If I want the wireless, I guess, feature. I guess if I were to plug it in, I could try.
I wouldn't use the wireless. I would just plug it in.
Yeah, I forgot I have the hub here with the C, so I could try and plug it in and see how that works.
Yeah.
But there is a free one or low cost that I think I have to plug in. I'm gonna give it a try and see, because I do like having this. I like the Samsung as a second screen. It's a good size. I like the touch screen. Oh, do we want to talk about Notion, or do we want to talk about that on a different day?
We could, yeah, we should. Yeah, Notion, yeah.
You want to
Notion itself works fine.
You want to do an
Notion,
update on a different podcast, or do you want to do it
No,
now?
because I don't think it'll take up. I don't think there's enough there for a whole podcast.
So Notion, I love it. I really like the transcription feature. Both of us really raved about it. Holy crap, did I have to
Yeah.
turn it?
Yeah, it just bogs the Mac down with the transcription.
Even on my PC though, my PC freaked out over it. It would run, it ran better than on this. But even on my PC, I'm gonna have to get used to that. Sorry. I figured them out. Come on, there it is. I figured them out. I'm gonna play with this forever. But the Notion, yeah, I had to. Notion made a mistake by making it where you have to do it through the app on your computer. It should be web based. The transcription.
Yeah, the transcription, man. I've just about given up on it now on the Mac.
But I have come up.
It was fine though. You know what though? I was using it and it was fine. It's one of the last updates they did to Notion that just.
Yeah, I noticed it. It was the last update that they did.
Right.
Very last one. That there was two. There was not this one, but the one before is when I noticed a change. But this last one, even on my PC, I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I've come up with an interesting workaround that's kind of a temporary stopgap. So what I've done is I'll join a meeting as a third person, because I do 2-person meetings, right? I'll join as another person, but I'll hide my video and I'll run it off of a separate device like my tablet in that meeting. I've also noticed transcription works on your cell phone and your tablet, by the way. The mic is so good on this and the speaker that I can actually have my tablet or my phone right next to it, and I can run it here and it will record it as long as I'm not using my headphones. If I'm using it like this,
it'll pick up the speaker. Right.
It'll pick up the speaker. So, I mean, I can do that. Oh, you unplugging?
You can take you can take a redneck out of the country, but you can't take the redneck out of the boy.
So that's kind of my workaround, because I've become a little bit dependent on that transcription. But yeah. Now, the reason why I say that hack with your phone is because some devices won't let you join as a third person unless you join as a completely separate account, like Zoom, but VOOV will not. It'll actually change devices. You have to join on VOOV as an actually separate account from a different device, not your current account. Things like, I think Class In, you have to pay for an extra person, I think, is when you do that one, right? I think it's paid per student, if I remember right, not per class. So
what's that?
Class In, if I remember right, you have to pay because you do tokens and you pay per.
Oh yeah, that would kill you. That would kill you because then you're paying double.
Join as a third person,
Right.
so why you'd want to have that hack, right?
Oh man, you can't be logged into both. devices into class in. That's right. Oh, I didn't think about that. That would suck.
Yeah.
I hate
So then
class in.
So the third person only works on Zoom, but if you're using like Class In or VOOV, you would have to either have it use the mic and have it like that, or um
Now, one thing I've noticed if I'm teaching in the morning on the Mac, that it's kind of laggy in the morning. Have you noticed that? You haven't taught much in the morning yet since you've had it, have you?
I'll be teaching tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'm curious.
What I've done though, and I did this with the PC as well. So let me do it because it'll pick it up if I put my hand here. Oh, it's not gonna pick it up. Is it gonna pick it up? Okay, well, I have a fan here. Let's turn off the
We know what a fan is.
I know, but I have my fan here. This is here, and I have it on me, but I'm always checking the temperature because I actually have this is the same one I use on my PC. It's kind of lifts it up so I have airflow. So what I do is I'll turn it to and it actually helps a lot. It'll take the temperature down right away. So
Mhm.
that's just kind of what I do when it heats up for me. But we live in a tropical country, so um, devices frying is an actual thing. Like it's an actual thing. I actually had a tower catch on fire. So, anyways, I think that's it. So my verdict is actually, I hate to say it, I really like my PC a lot. It does a lot of things. I think it's an easier to use device. I think it's more organized. But other than those things, to be honest, it's the Mac.
All right.
Price, longevity, battery. Like the fact that I don't have to have a lot of externals because I wouldn't need headphones. I'm always running through these like crazy. I could literally teach like this. I don't need the external camera, so you're not paying a lot for all those extra things.
Mhm.
And I think it lasts longer too because it doesn't have all the ports. You're actually using one C and you put all your ports there.
Yeah.
So it's not actually damaging the device. I think actually that's why they do that, to be honest. Usually on PCs, you damage your ports, all your different ports being plugged in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to say that if you're
It
teaching,
kills you. I know it kills you. I know
it
it kills
kills
you.
me really because I don't like the company. I'm not going to lie. Even I have
It's
that.
just,
I really like
you're a
company.
big person for admitting this. I'm not gonna lie. You're a big person.
But facts are facts. And you know me when it comes to facts. And facts are facts when it comes to price, battery, longevity, camera,
Yep.
because that's a
Mike.
big mic, that's a big deal. You're gonna want to switch. But if you're a heavy PC user, you're gonna be pissed off the first couple of days. And
You're
you're
gonna
gonna
have to make
get
some
like
adjustments. You're gonna have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and get with somebody who is a Mac user. I'll be completely honest. That first day that I came back, this dude sat for about 3 hours total with me, showing me how to do everything, telling me what apps I needed to download to make my life a little bit easier. Showed me, like there's a significant difference on how you load stuff and what you approve and the settings that you need. I mean, it's not the same at all. And if you don't have somebody to show you, you're going to be frustrated beyond belief.
Right. Yeah, it's a steep curve.
It's a
Um,
steep curve. I mean,
and
there's
and if you're using a Mac right now and we miss something important,
let
let
us
us
know.
know. I
Or if you've
promise
got
you we'll
questions
reply.
for me
We will
about,
reply.
switching from the PC to the Mac, if you got questions about what I liked or didn't like that I didn't talk about, let me know.
And we can probably offer an alternative to whatever it is whatever problem or shortcoming, whatever you want to call it, you're having. We can probably offer a workaround. For example, I still don't use Safari. I hate it. I use Google Chrome.
I don't use it either.
I really dislike it.
You saw the look
it's-
on my face when I was in the Mac store and they pulled up Safari and I'm like, that still exists?
But surprisingly, I did learn something through this process. I didn't know that Microsoft Edge was available for the Mac. I would never use it because I absolutely hate that browser with a passion. But I know Nicole uses it for something unique, and it's the
I
only one that
only use
does
it
that.
for PDF teaching just because of the way that it's built in. It's
Mm.
really easy to teach off of with the
Yeah.
PDF. Other than that, nope, I don't like the browser at all. I don't.
Yeah.
The only thing I use it for.
And now some people are gonna, I don't know, maybe one of our 4 viewers will go out and look at a base Mac and they're gonna go, oh my God, it only has a 256 gig hard drive.
Oh yeah,
You know what? I was scared about that when I first
Yeah.
did this. It ended up being a non-issue, to be honest, because you don't install files like you do on Windows, like next, done. You actually just drop the file in your applications folder. But if you have an external drive, you could put a lot of those programs on your external drive.
yeah, and that's where I said you and I cheat, where we have the external, and we make sure to be very conscious about moving things over. For
and,
example, my Zoom, when I record, I have it automatically deposit into the M.2. So it's not on my hard drive. So that way I forget and I don't have to move it. It's automatically just putting it.
and like I said, almost every single common program, there's a Mac version, like Microsoft Office. You have a Office suite that comes with the Mac. I don't use it. Some people like it. I don't know. I've just used Microsoft Office for years, and I looked at the Mac Keynote pages, and I don't remember what the other one. The one for spreadsheets. I can't remember what it's called, and I don't know. I didn't like it, so I just went ahead and put my Office apps on.
Well, I mean, most people have an Office subscription
Right.
anyway, the
And
360.
the other good thing, those common apps, they look exactly the same on the Mac as they do on the PC. I couldn't tell you the differences.
I think there was like just one or two minor differences, but for the most part, that made it a lot easier, to be honest. When I did that Fusion, that virtual Windows, you do have to have a Microsoft account. Like I have an account, I have a paid, so that made it easy because like you have to have a Windows version. And since I already had a paid one, I didn't have to buy it. I just, there. Um, yeah. So overall, if you're needing to upgrade and you're tired of buying PC all the time, yeah, you're gonna want to get the Mac.
And I was PC. I don't have anything against PCs. I get
I,
bored with tech and I want something new, so that's why I switched.
I like them. I like them a lot. But like I said, I've been buying too many. They don't last.
Right.
They're
Though,
too expensive.
if anybody out there is teaching from the ASUS A14 with the Snapdragon processor instead of the Intel, send me a message because I'm very curious about that. I know Nicole was too. She was
Yeah.
curious about that. Because that's an ARM processor like the Mac. I'm very curious how that works. Anyways, I'm
All right.
being nerdy now.
Well, I think that's it.
Yep,
So the
that's
topic is Mac. Come on, do it.
that's so funny.
I know. It
Have
cracks
your
me up.
students freaked out when you've done that in class?
Oh yeah, and usually I have my own proprietary backgrounds, right?
Mhm.
And so of course the first thing they notice every time that they notice I change my backgrounds with the season. And so the first teacher, why do you have a different background, right? And I'm like, because I killed my Oh, do we even want to talk about how it was on fire today and I thought it was literally going to catch on fire?
Yeah, she messaged me and she said, "Oh my God, it's burning up." And I thought she was talking about the MacBook. And I'm like, that really shouldn't happen. What are you doing to it? And I'm like, well, the computer will protect itself and throttle the processor. She said, no, it's the Windows laptop. And I went, really? How fucking hot? How hot is it?
It was hot enough where I almost dropped it. It was hot. It hurt. I was showing my students the laptop during the day, like, see, it was broken. And I'm like, look, it won't even turn on because it wouldn't. And one class, it actually brought up the Lenovo screen and then went, yeah, and it was gone. I was like, oh, hey, it did turn on. Well, apparently it didn't actually turn off, and it just decided to become an inferno. And two classes later, I went to touch it to show another student because they had asked, and it was so hot I almost dropped it. It
And
like
is that a plastic or an aluminum laptop?
it's a bit of both.
Uh-huh.
It,
Okay.
and it was hot.
Yeah.
So I had to put it on the floor upside down with the fans facing up because I have an AC on, and
Mhm.
it took a while, but it eventually shut itself. It probably ran out of battery again. It shut itself down and it cooled off. But I'm like, now I'm scared to turn it on.
Right, right. I don't know if that's repairable. It doesn't
It
seem
don't sound like it. I'm not
it doesn't sound good.
unless
I,
it's
there's some guys on. Are we still recording?
yeah. You want to say goodbye and then talk
Yeah.
after?
Bye
Bye, y'all. Let us know if you want to know anything else about the switchover. Peace.
bye.
Well,